Hello and welcome to another episode of Frightfully Forgotten Horror Movies. And we're going to bring a remake to you today, something that we don't normally do. And
a brand new movie, which is something we don't usually do.
Yeah, exactly. There's usually old movies. It's 2017's It. It's a remake of the 1990 classic, I would say. Because,
yeah, I'd say it's classic. Miniseries.
Yeah, miniseries, two-part miniseries.
And also the second adaptation of the Stephen King book.
Right. That's kind of debatable too, right? Whether it's how close it is. It's about a monster who disguises himself as a clown, as Pennywise the dancing clown. And he does that to kind of get kids into his confidence, to lure them in, and to kill them and eat them. The movie actually kind of begins with Bill and his little brother Georgie, and Bill is making like a paper boat. Georgie has to go down into the basement to get the wax, the sealer. Seals up the boat, and he takes it sailing out when it's raining. And lo and behold, the poor little boat sails right into the sewer. And who's waiting for him at the bottom of the sewer? Pennywise the clown. He kind of gets Georgie into his confidence a little bit, right? He talks to him and softens him up a bit. And he kills the poor kid.
Yeah, this part's a lot more gruesome than the miniseries. Basically, the rest of the movie is Pennywise terrorizing the rest of the dairy kids. More kids have gone missing.
Right.
Starts terrorizing Georgie's brother Bill and the rest of his friends, which are the Loser Club, they call themselves.
Yeah.
And they kind of band together and they go out to hunt Pennywise.
Yeah,
to stop him from doing his dastardly deeds. And that's basically what the movie's about, if you want to sum it up really quick. So, did we like It, the remake?
I didn't.
Nah, me either. I know a lot of people do.
And that's fine.
Honestly, there wasn't much that I took home from this movie besides being disappointed and not feeling anything throughout the whole movie. I didn't feel scared.
Yeah.
I didn't care about the characters.
I thought the pacing was it got into everything so fast where nothing was a build up to anything.
You don't get to know the characters before Pennywise starts like terrorizing them, like, 'cause you don't you don't care about them really at that point.
Exactly, and it's like, okay, well, if he ate Bill, I don't care.
You don't really delve into each kid's backstory.
No, not really.
You don't really know much about any kid besides maybe Beverly.
Yeah,
because the relationship with her dad.
You see one of the moms,
Richie's mom, which is comedic relief,
wearing the big fluffy 80s jumpsuit kind of thing and stuff. So
right after a scary scene happened, so it kind of takes away from that scary scene.
Yeah, and like the kids aren't even scared after.
A pretty intense scary scene. That's probably one of the more intense scenes in the movie.
Yeah, in the house.
Yeah. And then suddenly the mom shows up in this ridiculous jumpsuit, and you're like, just
yeah. It starts everybody in the theaters laughing, like, oh, that's not the mood that you should be getting from this. That's another thing with this movie that we really didn't like. It's the casting. Right?
Yeah, I wasn't huge on the casting.
I didn't feel it.
I actually liked the kid who played Ben.
Yeah, I didn't care much for.
I liked the casting for Beverly too.
But she seemed too old, though.
She seemed way much older than the rest of the kids.
Yeah.
And which could have worked if they just would have said, she's a few years older.
Yeah, in a different grade.
Yeah, but she says she was in Ben's social studies class, so they're obviously the same age. And Ben looks like he's like a toddler compared to her, right?
Exactly. So, yeah.
Not just physically, but like mentally, too. Like, she seems so much more grown up in the head than all the other kids.
Yeah, yeah.
One of my biggest issues with this movie, I think, is the comedy.
Yeah.
And how much comedy was there and where it took place. To me, for me, it didn't work.
Yeah.
I don't mind, you throwing some comedic relief in a scary movie. That's fine.
As long as it's placed right.
As long as it's placed right. But in this case, it was throughout the whole movie. There was all these stupid comedic one-liners out of nowhere right after a really scary scene that just takes you right out of the element.
And not only that, but it was just too much.
Too much.
Over the top.
Beep, Richie.
Yeah, shut up.
The Richie character just went way overboard with, first of all, the cursing.
Yeah.
I curse like a son of a bitch. I'm bad for it, I know. But fuck there's so much cursing in this movie, and it just kind of was like, okay, enough is enough, and most of it's coming out of Richie's mouth. I didn't mind Skarsgård there as Pennywise.
Oh,
I thought he was, he's no Tim Curry, and that's big shoes to fill. No one is Tim Curry.
Right.
But I didn't dislike him in the role. I didn't think he was amazing as Pennywise, but I don't think he did a bad job either.
I kind of liked how he was drooling all the time.
Yeah.
And he was always, I guess, hungry for these kids.
Yeah.
But again, like we were talking, they overdid him with too much CGI.
Yeah, there wasn't enough him.
Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't enough of him as an actor in it. And I like the design of Pennywise, the way he looks, like the costume design and stuff, I like. Again, there's lots of parts of this movie I kind of started liking. And then they just turned it around and it's like,
Yeah.
There was that scene in the basement there, and the basement's all kind of full of water. And Georgie and Pennywise are saying together, "You'll float too, you'll float too." And they keep saying it over and over, and it started to get kind of really chilling. And then I'm like, okay, I'm kind of digging this scene. And then Pennywise, he starts running towards the camera, and it's like, well, that just kind of killed it,
Yeah. Too many
It
jump
took
scares.
this kind of really creepy, tense thing and just kind of like, again, all the jump scares were the same. Most of the jump scares was Pennywise just running at the camera.
Yeah, and then right away they had Richie saying "fuck" or something like that, and just killed the mood of the scene. This movie seriously felt like a comedy. It did not feel like a horror movie at all.
To me, it didn't at all. I didn't find it scary.
No, neither did I. And we expected,
none of the horror came from suspense or atmosphere or like tension. It was all just jump scares.
Yeah.
It was all just, you turn around and Pennywise is there and he's running at the camera and all the quick, this new fashion of directing with all the quick jumps and stuff. Like, I don't find that scary. I find like the thought of something scary, the atmosphere, the tension, the
less you show, the more it is right in your own mind.
I did like the dynamic between Ben and Beverly and Bill, that kind of like love triangle a little bit.
Right.
I felt it didn't work as well as it should have because again, Ben seemed too young. Mm-hmm. To even be interested, or for Beverly to be interested in him.
He's like completely out of his league.
He seemed way too young. And I did really like the scene in the lake and the quarry where they're swimming and they're having a good time. Like, that's the only time I felt any real camaraderie, that they were really friends in the movie. But yeah, that's another thing. I didn't feel like the kids felt like they were enough of a unit.
Yeah, you didn't feel
and
that.
And they weren't individuals enough. You didn't get enough of each kid to really know, by the end, walking out, their name, who they really are.
Yeah, why you should care about them.
Why you should care about them.
I think the casting was odd, and it was that too, that sense of camaraderie, which is extremely important in a movie like this, and just didn't feel it. There was another problem with this movie, was it was too much too soon. Where it's like one of the first scenes where the bullies encounter Ben by the bridge, and they start cutting right into his stomach right away.
It's
like
not just pushing him around or something, like,
Yeah, like they were honestly threatening to kill him.
Yeah.
And
right off the bat.
It's like, where's the build up to it?
There's no escalation, right?
No.
And again, call the cops. Like, this isn't not bullying.
Yeah.
This is like almost murder.
Yeah, exactly.
A scene that should have been like a very triumphant scene where you feel really good for these kids when they're fighting off the bullies with the rocks.
Yeah.
And it's wrecked by this stupid heavy metal music that starts playing. Like, I get what they're going for, they're fighting and this heavy metal music. I guess it would suit most movies, but it's supposed to be like a triumphant, like they finally got one over on these. Should be some sort of, triumphant music, not this metal music. And it just, again, it took you right out of the scene.
Exactly, yeah. It divided your attention like this movie did throughout the whole thing. It divided it.
I think the movie looked good. Like, it had a good look. Like, visual-wise, it looked, besides when they shove all the CGI in there.
Right.
It was a good-looking movie.
Yeah.
This, in my opinion, is supposed to be one of the scariest movies ever released, and that's the way they're marketing it. And make a choice, guys. Do you want a comedy or do you want a horror movie? And if you want some comedic elements in there, put them in the right places.
Yeah.
Not in every scene.
Done to death. Yeah.
Well, we mentioned it takes place in 89.
Yeah.
But that didn't help the movie.
No, the more they showed of the 80s, the more it took away from it too, right? They had little hints every...
Yeah, like they're shoving it in your face. This is 89.
Yeah.
Oh, Batman's playing at the theater. This is 1989.
Yeah, you don't need to know that.
Nightmare on Elm Street's at the theater now.
Yeah.
It's 1989, guys.
Yeah, remember. So, all in all, I don't know. What do you...
If you're, if you like movies like The Grudge and The Ring and
modern day
stuff
horror.
like that, you'll probably like it. I wish we could say more good things, but that's our opinion of 2017's It.